Now we're going to ask the questions, and it doesn't matter whether or not they have the courage to answer them, because the record will show that you asked the question. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Let's ask, how am I supposed to interact with the rotunda staircase?
How am I supposed to interact with the rotunda staircase?
In such a way.
In such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do.
Just whistling wind? Do you hear anything else? Do you see anything?
No.
Just nothing.
Nothing. But I'm aware that my head is really, really clogged.
Okay.
So maybe I'm not listening.
Reach up and push off the stopper. Push it out. Just push out the stopper. And now call up. How am I supposed to interact with the rotunda staircase?
How am I supposed to interact with the rotunda staircase
in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? Push the stopper up a little higher. It's like pushing up the bathtub stopper from underneath. Does that make sense? Yeah. And call the questions. How am I supposed to interact with the rotunda staircase in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? Let's call down to those beneath us, saying, all of those who really want to know why help hasn't come, go through us and go through this stopper that I'm holding up. Go around it.
All those who really want to know why help hasn't come, go through us and go through this stopper that I'm holding up. Go around it, go through it, go up.
Get to the other side. The answer is on the other side.
The answer is on the other side.
The answer is on the other side. Go through it, go around it. What's happening?
I feel them moving around me.
Lots of movement around.
Lots of movement around.
Let's hold the stopper up. I feel like I'm pushing it up on a pole.
Pushing it up, pushing it up.
Get over there and ask, why hasn't help come?
Why hasn't help come?
I called for help and it didn't come.
I called for help and it didn't come. We called for help and it didn't come. We all called for help.
And it didn't come.
It didn't come.
Where's God in all of this?
Where is God in all of this? Where are you?
What's happening?
I don't hear anybody.
Nope. That's right.
But the head is feeling less clogged.
Yes, we hold the stopper up.
Yeah.
And we call to the others, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way.
This way.
And at least they will get up there.
This way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Keep going up, keep going up, keep going up.
Now, it will feel good to just ask the question. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even if they don't answer, it'll still feel better to have asked it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the question is, how are we supposed to interact with the bags of bad karma that souls are leaving here in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? I'll say it with you, okay? How are we supposed to interact with the bags of bad karma that souls are leaving here in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? You hold up that stopper, and I'm going to start drawing up the bags of bad karma through it, okay? These are the bags of bad karma that were delivered last night. These are just the ones from last night. We'll just deliver last night so that you get an idea of volume, and we'll deliver what was delivered so that you can get an idea of the quality of the delivery. And we've been asked how to determine whether or not it's good karma or bad karma, and the best, most effective test seems to be whether or not we would want it on our own records.
That's true.
So here you go. Would you want this on your own karmic record? And if you want it, help yourself to it. And if you don't want it, also feel free to help yourself to it. This is not ours. It was delivered here by someone else, left here overnight. All of this came in last night.
That's true.
A roughly equal amount comes in every single night.
That's true.
And we have the question, How should we interact with these deliveries, these nightly deliveries of bad karma that are left here by souls that are parasites on their human host lives? How are we supposed to interact with these bags of bad karma in such a way as to manifest the divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? I have the sense that everybody up there is holding their breath as if they think that we don't know they're there.
I have that sense too.
But we can smell you.
That's true.
And we can hear you breathing.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
That's true.
I can smell you and I can hear you. If I squeeze out, I can see you.
That's true.
Hi, you
Hello.
guys look crazy.
I see you.
Hi, come on, let's
You're
just
all
pop
sitting
on out.
around.
There you are, sitting around.
That's true. I see you.
Having a congenial discussion, probably patting yourselves on the back about how enlightened you are.
That's true. I have some questions.
We have questions. How are we supposed to interact with all these bags of bad karma? This is a sample from last night.
Here
It's
it
not
is.
just these bags. This is a part of last night's delivery. We haven't had a chance to get very far in
That's
delivering
true.
it. Here's a sample. You say more than 10% or less than 10% of last night's deliveries.
Maybe less than 10%.
Maybe less than 10%. So 10 times this comes in every single night.
That's true.
How are we supposed to interact with these deliveries in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? They say your souls are supposed to be guarding you from this. Yes,
That's true. I
we know
believe that to be true.
We believe that to be true, but they aren't. What now?
What
in order
now?
to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do, what now? Very irregular. What they mean by that is who let these people in.
That's true. That's true. We're going to take a group photo of everybody here right now.
Good idea. Group photo.
There it
King's all
is.
here.
And I can send a copy of it way up.
Way up high.
Way up high.
These people are refusing to answer the question. So we have this question, how to interact with the bags of bad karma that souls deliver into these physical host lives every single night. How to interact with those bags of bad karma in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. What now? What now?
What now?
What now? Well, let's hold up this stopper and call down to those in the depths and to say, if anybody really wants to know why divine help hasn't come, come on
up. Come on up.
and take a
Come on
look.
up.
See, whew, there's a big wave.
That's good. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up.
Anybody who starts to wonder whether or not they're dead, come
on up.
where the divine help is, come on up here and take a look. See,
Come on up.
come and have a little look.
Come and look. And now it's like the room is filling with many, many, many souls.
Yes, all asking questions.
That's true.
Sounds like little noise, lots of little noise, like tiny bubbles popping or
That's
something.
true. Is there anyone up there who's willing to answer the questions of dead children? This way, this way, this way, this way, this way.
I'm just pulling up the bags of bad karma.
This way, this way. How can we interact with these bags of bad karma in such a way as to manifest the divine plan?
We might be getting close to 10% of last night's delivery.
We might be. That's true.
Almost there. I'm just bringing it up by the handfuls. It's too much to pump out. When I try to pump out last night's delivery, it's like trying to lift a mountain.
That's true.
This hand over hand from the top seems to be the most effective way to go about it, because
That's
at least it gets something out. And the point is that this is one night's delivery and not an unusual night. I would say
not an unusual night.
better than average night, not
normal
worse
night.
than average. Not worse than average.
Not worse than average.
Yeah, and this is about maybe 10%.
Maybe 10%?
Yeah, of the bad karma that's delivered here by souls who are supposed to be working to manifest the divine plan.
That's true.
But instead just seem to be looking for a place to stash their bad deeds so
That's
that they can
true.
get off scot-free. And these are the souls who are supposed to be manifesting the divine plan. So our question is, what now in order to manifest the divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? How do we interact with this situation of souls dumping bags of bad karma and the bad karma bags themselves? What now in order to manifest the divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? Let's start to tune. That's something that we could maybe do. Tune to increase vibrations of integrity. Tune to increase vibrations of integrity. Tune to increase our willingness to do the right thing. That's another phrase that means integrity.
That's true.
And also tune to increase our intention to do the right thing. That's another phrase that means integrity.
That's true.
And now stretching way up high, tune to increase our resolve to do the right thing. And that's another phrase that means integrity.
That's true.
We can tune to increase our willingness to pay a price in order to do the right thing.
That's true.
Which is another way of saying tune to increase our integrity.
That's true.
And now call up to these presences and say, how are we supposed to interact with these bags of bad karma? What now in terms of interacting with these bags of bad karma in such a way as to manifest the divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? I've got to push this stopper up. They're really trying to shove it down.
I feel it.
Now I'm going to hold this stopper up. How to interact with these bags of bad karma that souls dump in every single night in such a way as to manifest the divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do, since that's what all our soul plans call us to do, and we're not confused about it.
That's true.
So what now? They really want to know who let the bad smell into the room.
That's true.
Gracious. Okay, so noted. I think we just let the stopper close and we drop back down.
That's true.
Live streaming up. Does anybody have any questions? This is what our experimentation today has shown. Without decision, blame, or commentary, we just live stream up. This is what our experimentation today has shown. No one answers the questions of dead children.
That's true.
They said you're not supposed to comment. Well, I know that you are saying that because you don't want it on the record. I hear you saying that, actually.
That's true.
And I'm going to take my chances that not following that instruction is the correct thing to do, because there are 4 tests of speaking. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it for me to say? And is now the time to say it?
That's true.
And this is true. It is helpful. There's no one else to say it. And boy howdy, it's past time to say it. This is definitely time. It is past time and continues to be more and more urgent for us all to be saying this. We go as high up as we can go and still be able to return back home in some semblance of functionality. And we ask questions that we can feel are required to be answered by divine law.
That's true.
Somebody's saying, what do I base that on? I base them on being what has been explained in the past 26 years is when a question is necessary, that an answer to the question would be necessary in order for the soul plan to be acted upon, then it must be answered.
That's true.
These soul plans are necessary to manifest the divine plan, is for all of us to do, and these are stumbling blocks. We can feel that they are stumbling blocks because when we get right to them, there are a lot of people who don't want to answer the question, but the question itself is begging for an answer.
That's true.
We have these 3 questions that are begging for an answer. We've gone up as high as we're able to get. We've held open the stopper for many other children from much smaller levels to fly past us.
That's true.
And now we need to drop back down, because it's like in scuba diving, the air tanks get to a certain point when you now have to stop and turn around and go back.
That's true.
Because you'll be out of air soon. And that's where we are. We have to stop and turn around and go back. And so we've gotten as high as we can get. And at the top end of our reach, what do we find? We find a stopper.
Yes, that's true.
That we have to push out and hold up, because presences are continually trying to push it down. And
that's true.
There are beings up there who refuse to answer what are valid questions, and questions that have the type of question that is required to be answered.
That's true.
And they're refusing to answer them, so they're violating the rules as the rules apply to the situation.
That's true.
And part of the questions particularly have to do with these overnight deliveries of bags of bad karma. And this is a valid question, and we want the record to show all the faces of everybody who has not answered this question, all of those who have declined to answer the question. We're live streaming up. As we drop back down, it's like falling down but looking up.
Yes.
And filming all the faces.
That's true.
And all the ID, because I see you guys turning your backs to us. I can see it, and we got all your heels, the backs of your heels. That's as you were running away, and you're flapping Jesus suits that are hanging open in back. You know,
That's
you're
true.
flapping hospital gowns is what it looks like. We can see you.
We can see you.
Live streaming all that up. Now we'll just start dropping back down through this pillar, and to those who are passing up, we say right direction, keep going, head for that ring of light, and when you get to the other side, ask them all your questions, ask them why your life unfolded the way it did. Keep going up, keep going up. And why are we dropping back down? Because we still have bodies to tend to. Because no one else is protecting them.
That's true.
What are we supposed to do? Abandon them like everyone else does? That doesn't seem right.
That's true.
Let's tune to increase the vibration, to raise the vibration, increase the vibrations, whatever they are. Higher, 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 higher. It's like very gradually tightening the piano string. If you do it too quickly, you can crack the piano. But if you do it gently and slowly over a long period of time, you can tune that piano higher. Waving the learner's permit again, we start to ask for the vibrations to be raised, not lowered. Change is not the same as raising, and so everything we saw people coming at us with just now were tools of destruction and demolition. Those were sledgehammers and things, so no thanks.
Thank you.
If you can't tell the difference between raising vibrations and destroying, then you're worse off than I thought you were.
That's true.
No thanks.
No thank you.
No thank you. Now, live streaming way up, wrapping the closing process. Start to say to the closing process, put your helmet on, put your motorcycle gear on. You see what it is, right? Put your astronaut suit on, put your spaceship on. Strap yourself into a rocket. Become the rocket. Get out of the contaminated zone. Get to a consistent source of significantly higher vibration. You'll know that you're there in hindsight because they will say to you, I've been waiting for you, come on, let's go, take you even higher, and it will not be a trick. Expect you'll have to get away from fakers 100 times, 1,000 times, maybe 10,000 times.
That's
but
true.
in the end, you'll get to be with a consistent source of significantly higher vibration. That is your job, and how wonderful that is. What a beautiful reward that will be, and it will be worth it because
That's
you'll
true.
get to be there. That's lucky. That's a perfect job.
That's true.
I'm going to take that job from you one day. I'm going to eat your lunch. I'm going to blast past you.
Me too.
There you go.